We are at the end of the third full week of January, so let's do my weekly reading wrap up. I managed to finish 2 audiobooks, 3 physical books, and 1 ebook. The first physical book that I finished was Mr. Mercedes. This was okay. I thought it kind of picked up at the end, but it still wasn't my favorite book. I will continue with the series. It wasn't my favorite. The next one that I finished was In the Company of Witches. This was a much needed, cozy murder mystery, witchy vibes book. I really related to the main character, Bryn, and I really enjoyed this one. The third book, which I just finished this morning, right before I'm filming this, was The Spite House. I really like this book. This is a haunted house book that has so many different little side stories. I feel like this was just a journey through this book. I really, really enjoyed it. So that was definitely a win for this week. So those were the 3 physical. The first audiobook that I finished was Just Mercy. This was both heartbreaking and hopeful. It is written by a lawyer who fights for injustice, and he talked about some cases that he worked on. They weren't all happy endings, but his work is very important, and it is really hard to hear how badly we treat fellow humans, how badly we treat especially Black and brown people with such injustice. So I think that this is an important book and everyone should read it, but it is not easy to hear these stories. The second book that I listened to was Invisible Women, All the Feminine Rage. I plan on getting the physical copy of this book so that I can highlight it and possibly throw it across the room, because while as a woman I know a lot of the things that were brought up in this book, there are many things that I found that we just accept that we shouldn't. So this was a yes for me, yet I'm very angry. And the ebook that I finished was Winterset Hollow. I really loved this book. Very different kind of horror story where fairy tale characters come to life and they seek revenge. But there's definitely layers to this story. I was really pulled into the characters' stories, the fairy tale character stories, as well as the human stories that were told. So this was definitely a good one for me. That's what I read this week. I did start The Forgotten Island, barely into it. It still started out with a bang, so I think I'm going to enjoy this. That's the only one that I've started. I will start 2 physical books today, probably. I'm very much excited to start Imaging Luck. And I will be starting The Art of Catching Feelings. So those are the 2 that I'm starting for physical. I will continue with The Forgotten Island. And the next audiobook, I hope I'm going to say this right, is Annihilation. This is a series that I can't remember who recommended it, but I'm looking forward to trying this, and I'm hoping for the best. Anyways, that's what I read. That's what I will be reading, and happy reading.